up with a system for you that's going to keep you from being overwhelmed. So it's like, okay, you've got your space. Don't do what I told you. Don't pull everything out. You want to take that space and then subdivide it into much smaller spaces. For instance, if you're doing the kitchen, pick one drawer or pick one cabinet to do. And actually, when you first start decluttering, make it even smaller than you think. If you get done with it, then you can pick another little tiny, subspace. But you start, and if it's your closet that you're doing, if you're doing your clothes, maybe do your tops, your shirts, or do your pants. Or if your clothes are all jumbled up, do like maybe 2 feet of your closet. It's like do just a little bit. And what I have people do is like you want to schedule a time between 1 to 2 hours. You need to at least have an hour so that you can really get in and get some work done. But I don't really want people working more than 2 hours, because once you've gone for about 2 hours, you're starting to get mentally and beginning to get physically fatigued, and you don't want to. You're going to start getting tired. So it's like that's the time to stop. So that's why we're dividing into these little subspaces that are between an hour or two. And then what you want to do is that particular subspace you've got, you pull everything out. Then you start of the space, give the space a little dust, a little clean while it's empty, and then you start assessing the items. It's like, the items that are going to go back in that space, you put them back in the space. The items that go elsewhere in your house, you put them where they go in the other parts of your house. Or if there's something that's going out, if they need to be donated, trashed, or recycled or gifted, you set those aside as well.
Right. So you have a little spot where, this is how I've done it before, where I have a spot where it's like if I'm giving it to Value Village or wherever I'm donating it to. And then I usually have a throwaway, because I've kept some things that actually needed to be tossed.
Yes. Yes.
And then I have things that I want to repurpose, and they're in the wrong spot. Yeah. So I like that, because what I like is you took it down to bite size. And I find in my life, and I've talked this over with my audience before, I find in my life when I do baby steps, I'm much better. So what you're doing is not overwhelming your mental capacity or even your emotional capacity by throwing it all in the middle, because I think that's what people try and do. I'm going to do this whole darn room today. And and then you throw it all out in the middle. And so what you're doing, I want the audience to think about this. Leanne suggesting you subdivide it. So even down to one drawer, just tackle the one drawer. Don't do all the drawers, empty all the drawers. Just do the one drawer first and subdivide it. Great. Okay, so we've subdivided, and we're cleaning the drawer out before we put it all back in.
And then you put it back in and in a more organized fashion, what stays in that space. And what I tell people to do is set aside like a 1 to 2 hour block once or twice a week to actually make progress on your space. You do the one subspace, and then you do the next little subdivided space. And if you have a third block of time during the week, go out and do something fun, because you don't want to feel like all you're doing is decluttering. You want to feel like you're making progress, but you don't want to feel like it's taking over your life. So that's why I say don't do more than 2 sessions a week, and then go out and do something fun if you've got some extra time.
Right. Because those 2 sessions will accomplish a lot, and over a month of doing 2 sessions weekly, it will be amazing what a person can do. And rather than feeling overwhelmed, they have done it methodically, and then also done the self-care for themselves. So that's genius.
And Lorraine, I really love for people, like when they first start a decluttering project, when you decide what you're going to declutter, take a lot of pictures and take them as you go along. So like maybe, when you get a few weeks in and you think, oh, have I really done anything? You look back at those pictures and you say, yes, I have done stuff. I am making progress. And it just it keeps you motivated to keep going. Mm-hmm.
Right. Because that's what we need. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to keep motivated. Now, how does clutter stop us from doing what we want to do? So how does clutter stop us from doing? Yes.
Well, in so many ways. First of all, a lot of times if you've got clutter in your house, you're embarrassed to have people over.
True.
You think, oh, I don't want to have people over. I mean, so many people tell me they're embarrassed to have people over. And second, if you've got clutter and you really haven't handled it, you're going to spend a lot of time kind of moving things around and dealing with clutter, or maybe even thinking, oh my gosh, I need to go and clean up this clutter. And you spend a lot of time kind of spinning your wheels and not doing the things you want to do, doing this thing, like trying to get this clutter done. And also, if you are out doing something with your family or with your friends, and you feel like you should be home dealing with the clutter or your messy space, then you're taking time. You're not present with the people doing doing what it is that the fun thing, the self-care thing that you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And it's like and so many times I can't tell you how many people tell me, like, when they started decluttering, like they found like money, or they found things to return, or checks they hadn't cashed, stuff like that. So it's like, that's not exactly stopping you from doing what you're doing, but if if you are leaving money on the table that you have there, it's affecting you as well.
Right.
And really, clutter, even if you think that you're one of these people that, I don't, clutter doesn't bother me, I don't mind having all this around. It really does. It's really weighing on taking up your physical and mental bandwidth, even if you're not dealing with it or think it's not a problem for you. It causes distraction. And, particularly like for entrepreneurs or go-getters who have big goals that they're working toward, that distraction, knocks them out of the game. And it makes it harder for them to achieve what they want to achieve.
So those are some of the things that clutter is actually stopping us from doing. It's stopping us sometimes from entertaining, to feeling free to have people in our house. I love that analogy, because that's true. So what we have to realize, it's not only us that are affected, we're affecting others, because we don't want to have them in the house, and we're holding them at bay, because, for sure, we don't want them to see. There are things in our house that we might be able to find, like library books that were overdue when we used to, that kind of thing. So, and then it's robbing us of emotional and mental energy, and that is really important to think. So, I love this subject. So what I want the audience to do between now and next week, when I talk to Leanne again, because we've got to go quickly here, but I want the audience to do what Leanne suggested and find the room that has the most pain point for you, and subdivide it and start. And then we're going to talk to you next week and with more tips on decluttering. So, Leanne, tell the audience how they can get a hold of you, so that if they have any questions on decluttering, they can get a hold of you. So let them know.
So the best way to find me is you can find me at letsaceyourspace.com, or you can email me at letsaceyourspace@gmail.com. I also have a Facebook group of that same name. There's a theme here, Let's Ace Your Space. If you just Google Let's Ace Your Space on Facebook, you'll find my Facebook group. And there's a lot of great information, and I interact with people in there as well.
Oh, I think that would be very invaluable because those Facebook groups and people come in with their questions and you can learn so much. So perfect. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Leanne. I'm so excited we get to have you back next week. So out there, if you have any questions, comments, or would like to know more about Leanne, now you have her website. And feel free, if you need to talk to me, to head over to my website at lorrainehoving.com. Here you can sign up for my email list and receive my top tips for a healthy and happy life. So, Leanne, I am so thankful you're going to be here because we just scratched the surface. So people out there are beginning to start their decluttering. So next week we'll talk about some more tips for you. And I will see you back here next week, Leanne. And remember out there, you're welcome. Loved it. Remember, it is never too late. It is never too late to declutter. Ever. It's not. It's never too late to lose weight. It is never too late to go after your dreams. It is never too late to live a life of purpose. It just is never too late, ever. We'll see you back here next week, Leanne.
Looking forward to it, Lorraine.